One of the most common questions I get asked about lab testing and chronic health issues is what is the best kind of gut testing? Because most people who are dealing with chronic health understand that it all starts with the gut, and if we don't have a healthy gut, we won't have a healthy body. And not that everyone with chronic health issues has gut symptoms, but the majority do. But even if you don't have those symptoms, it's always my advice that we've got to go and start with the gut anyway, because that's where a lot of the problems are happening. So then my answer to what is the best gut testing is often seen as controversial and almost hypocritical to that statement I just made. I often tell people I believe no gut testing should be done, or not quite no, but almost no. And here's what I mean by that. There's so many different GI mapping tests and all these other things that can break down every single piece of your microbiome to the nth degree of what bacteria is here and there and what fungal problem might be here or there. And ultimately, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, our gut microbiome is so adaptable and changes so much that anytime you test it, you're just getting a snapshot of where it is currently in that moment in time. It changes due to the stress you're under, the foods you eat, and everything else that's going on. So if we're not going to test that stuff, but yet I'm saying working on gut health is the most important thing to do, well, what should you do? Well, if you really want to do some gut health testing, I will sometimes do a leaky gut panel. You can do a leaky gut panel for a few $100. Vibrant Wellness does a great one to see how bad the damage is. So we know there's going to be some leaky gut if someone's got chronic health issues. So that's the one gut test I will sometimes do, just to have a look at that permeability. But outside of that, I would prefer people spend their money on root cause testing. Let's go and look at why you have the gut issues and why you have the chronic health issues in the first place. Let's test for mold, maybe Lyme disease and Lyme bacteria and its co-infections, depending on what symptoms you have. Parasites, although that's another tricky one to test for, which I'll come back to in a minute. Are you loaded with heavy metals or environmental toxins like glyphosate and other herbicides and pesticides? Are you full of what's known as the PFAs, the forever chemicals? See, you're much better to spend your money on finding out those things so that you can go and address those issues, because when you're addressing those, you're going to work on clearing up the gut anyway. And depending on your symptoms, if you have a lot of irritable bowel syndrome and a whole bunch of other things, we can make pretty accurate guesses if we suspect some gut bacteria infections, or like a C. diff or an H. pylori, or if we think there's candida or anything like that. But again, we have to get rid of the underlying mold or parasites and whatever's there anyway. And then the reason I say I want to come back to the parasite testing is really hard to do accurately with stool testing as well. If your body's not eliminating the parasites, nothing will show up. And you have to time it to just have caught some stool that happened to have some parasites in it. There's one parasite that's a microscopic blood-borne one called toxoplasma that is easy to test for because it's either in the blood or it's not. Majority of people have a lot of parasite infection going on anyway. In fact, it's estimated anywhere between 85 and 95% of people do. So to recap, gut testing, other than maybe a leaky gut panel, or unless you're looking for a specific type of gut infection, I would recommend you go and do better root cause testing to find out what's driving it all in the first place. Is it mold? Is it Lyme? Is it chemicals? Is it metals? Whatever of those things. And then you're going to go and work on healing the gut anyway, so you don't really need a test to tell you to do that. So if this leaves more questions for you than answers, or you disagree, leave a comment and let's talk about it, because a lot of us have different opinions and we can all learn from each other. I love chatting with people who have different opinions to me, and it helps everyone who's watching the video and reading the comment as well. So please make sure you comment either because you agree or because you disagree, and let's keep the conversation going.